The sharp voice, capable of curdling milk, belonged to Brenda, our HOA president. He's violating Section 7, subsection B. That fence is an eyesore, and it's coming down today. She was jabbing her perfectly manicured finger at the demolition crew she'd hired, who were already yanking up the posts. As a wildlife biologist, I knew that fence wasn't just for show. It was the sole barrier preventing bears from turning our neighborhood into their personal buffet. "Madam," I said, struggling to stay calm, "that's a specialized wildlife deterrent fence. Removing it is a dangerously foolish move." She just laughed dismissively. Little did she know, she'd just invited every predator from the surrounding 20,000 acres of national forest to dinner. The tale of how her fixation on curb appeal triggered the total downfall of her tidy suburban empire is downright wild. Stick around and drop a comment with your state, because what unfolded next is unbelievable. My path to this suburban showdown started, oddly enough, with a quest for tranquility. I purchased my home on the fringe of a fresh development because it bordered a massive national forest. It offered the ideal mix of modern life and untamed nature, letting me blend my work and living space with the ecosystem I devoted my career to researching. The developer, a practical old-timer with more sense than wealth, recognized the site's unique risks. A stipulation in the county's final plat approval, and a major draw for me, was the setup of protective barriers along the forest edge. My lot, the biggest along that border, meant I handled the responsibility and the pre-funded installation. This wasn't a charming picket fence. It was a high-tensile, multi-strand, low-voltage electrified barrier. It looked rugged and functional because it was. It delivered a harmless but memorable shock, enough to convince a nosy 600-pound black bear that our grills and garbage weren't worth the hassle. It served as a quiet protector, a tech-savvy guardian maintaining harmony between humans and wildlife. For 3 years, it functioned flawlessly. We spotted deer, raccoons, and the odd fox wandering by, but the major threats, the ones that could spark serious issues, stayed away. The original residents got it and valued it. We were living a unique idyll, savoring nature's splendor without the peril. Then Brenda showed up. Brenda relocated 2 years back, snagging the grandest house in the development's core. She hailed from a bland, gated enclave elsewhere, where wildlife meant a neighbor's pampered poodle. She cruised in a spotless pearlescent white Range Rover that never collected dust, and her wardrobe featured outrageously pricey Lululemon gear worn for everything but workouts. In under 6 months, via a blitz of pushy charm and sly digs, she clinched the HOA presidency. Her agenda? Boost the community's status through rigid visual conformity. Lawn decorations vanished first. Then mailboxes, everyone mandated to buy overpriced ones from her brother-in-law's firm. Her rule was a string of minor oppressions and hushed gripes, a creeping assault on personal flair. My fence became her ultimate nemesis. To her, it wasn't essential safety gear. It was an unsightly blemish on her flawless suburbia. It clashed with the ornate aluminum fences she forced on others. The notices began a year ago. The initial one was a friendly nudge about HOA-style rules. I replied courteously, attaching my deed, the original county-filed plan, and a thorough breakdown from my biologist viewpoint on the fence's vital role. I outlined non-lethal wildlife strategies and how it instilled a landscape of fear in predators, training them to steer clear of the whole area harmlessly. I figured that settled it. How wrong I was. The follow-up was icier, threatening fines. My retort was firmer. I enclosed proof of the fence's legal standing as a pre-HOA, developer-mandated safety element. I copied the county planners. I even chatted with George, a veteran neighbor 2 doors away. Over a beer on his deck, he cautioned, "Watch that one, kid. She fined a Miller's $500 over their basketball hoops garish orange. She's got the board eating from her hand." He nailed it. The HOA board, a mix of meek followers and overworked folks, enabled her. They viewed her zeal as a boon for home values, approving her whims, like branding my fence a nuisance to be demolished. I showed up at the next meeting with a PowerPoint. I displayed migration routes, bear density charts, and examples of human-predator clashes. As an expert, I was giving gratis crucial advice. They stared blankly. Brenda spoke for them. "Mr. Harrison, we appreciate your animal talk," she sneered. "But this is about standards, not a nature documentary. The bylaws are explicit. Your fence is ugly and violates them." She dismissed my facts as a dodge, my knowledge as smug exceptionalism. My bare warnings? Mere scaremongering. The vote was unanimous. Remove it in 30 days, or they'd handle it and invoice me. Logic had fled. This was pure power play, and I was about to learn the cost of defying a neighborhood tyrant. The alert hit while I analyzed soil in my lab. "George, urgent. They're here, Brenda, and a crew with tools. Tearing down your fence now." A sharp rage overtook my usual poise. I ditched my coat, apologized to my aide, and raced home, ignoring speed limits. Arriving, I saw organized chaos. 3 workers dismantling posts, discarding insulators and wire. There stood Brenda on my lawn, arms folded, smirking victoriously in a bright yellow tennis skirt and white polo, like she'd ace a tournament. "What the hell are you doing?" I barked, advancing. "This is my property." Unfazed, she waved a paper. "Enforcing the board's ruling, Mr. Harrison. Here's the demolition bill, plus a $1,000 fine. Due in 15 days. Her nerve stunned me. She'd invaded my land, wrecked $5,000 in gear, and billed me. I seethed. "Brenda, you've no clue what you've unleashed. You've endangered everyone." She eye-rolled. "Spare the theatrics. It's a fence. Now we'll have uniformity. You should thank me." She spun, entered her rover, and left me amid the wreckage. For moments, I glared at the void. Fury burned, but resolve cooled it. She thought she'd triumphed. She'd actually stirred a hornet's nest, and stings were coming. That day, rage fueled me. The old me would have fumed or penned a letter, but Brenda had crossed a line. She confused my restraint for frailty, my skill for hubris. My payback, deliberate, recorded, devastating. That night, my office became a command center, Project Pandora. Brenda had unleashed chaos, and I'd chronicle all. First, legal. I phoned Marcus, an HOA litigation pro. Detailing from developer pact to her smirk, he grinned. "This is gold. Negligence, property ruin, covenant breach. She might face personal liability for overreach. Hold off on suing, let fallout build. Document everything. Next, data. The forest my lab, X-fence the focus. I deployed a dozen HD night vision cams along my line, logging intrusions by time, species, behavior. Not just bears, deer, coyotes, bobcats, all drawn in. Third, intel. Neighborhood walks yielded stories. Sarah's dog growled at Wood's nightly. Mike bleached his trash bin twice weekly. I filed community incidents, adding chats and footage. Most saw isolated nuisances. I knew it was prelude. Evidence hit a week later. 2:17 a.m., Cam 4. A young 150-pound bear sniffed, crossed unstopped. Subject 0. I emailed Marcus. It starts. He replied, "Perfect. Phase 1. Nuisance search." Logs showed habituation. Subject 0 returned boulder, scouting calorie riches. Soon, Forestside Homes reported issues. Trash raids spiked. Brenda emailed about bear-proof cans, ignoring determined bears treated latches as games. We'd find cans dragged, content strewn. I collected neighbor pics. Bird feeders demolished next. Brenda called them vermin attractants, lumping bears as pests. Facebook griped, blaming active bear year. My charts? 0 prior incidents. Explosion post-demolition. Legal file grew. Phase 2. Damage ramp up a month in. Animals saw homes as food vaults. A bear ripped the miller's screen door, gouging wood. $800 fix. I got pick/bill. David's garage peeled like foil. $2,000. He flipped from Brenda Ally. I mailed the board a summary. Photos, 200+ incursions post-fence, tying to their order. On notice for negligence. Brenda ignored it next meeting. Marcus loved it. She hired a control guy for $1,500. Rusty truck, half-dozen bare area signs. Useless show. I snapped her posing for newsletter. Pivotal. Scarface, my studied 600-pound boar with snout scar. Fence respecting before, now king entered. Cam caught his bold stride. No slink. He wrecked an outdoor kitchen, shredded a $1,000 hot tub cover, learned trash nights. Fear spread. Kids indoors, suburbia to nightmare. Brenda denied cause, her ego a dam against truth. But flood neared. Scarface eyed all, including her pristine home. Catalyst. Tuesday Eve, Brenda's garage open, perhaps unloading gourmet goods. Scarface smelled elite dog kibble in wicker basket. Neighbor Cam /911 pieced. He sauntered in, spilled basket, feasted 20 minutes, toppled clubs, spilled paint under rover, used fertilizer bag as wipe. Com exit. Brenda's scream, pierced night, on finding mess. Panic personal now, bare inner space. Hour later, emergency meeting email, action plan for aggressive wildlife. I grinned, time arrived. Brenda's aims, huge assessment for 10-foot concrete wall, $20,000 per household. Petition wildlife department for traps/euthanasia. War on woods. But I'd flip her rally to trial. Prep 48 hours. David rallied quorum. Marcus coached. Facts as weapon. Presentation. Magnum opus. Hall packed, tense. Brenda, frazzled. Ranted with garage pics. Fear-stoking kids' peril. Wall pitch. Euthanasia, murmur, uneasy. Many loved wildlife. Post-speech, I rose. No question, but context presentation. Brenda snapped. Not now. David backed. Hear him. Crowd agreed. She relented. Slide 1. Baseline, balanced community. Pre-fence data, minimal sightings. Explain fence science. Next, photo of Brenda at demolition. HOA letter/fine. Gasps. Inciting event. Aftermath. Timeline from fence down. Subject 0 video. Montage of damages. Scarface stars. Kitchen, tub, garage exit. Heat map. Breach of my lot. Spreading contagion. Hot over Brenda's. Data clear. All issues from one reckless choice. Final. My warning letter. Informed. Ignored. Silence. Then George boomed. You destroyed safety. Ignored expert. Let damage mount. Now $20,000 wall for dog food raid. Eruption. Shouts for HOA damage pay. Brenda flailed. Order. Laugh. You're the threat. Marcus rose. Negligence. HOA liable for damages. Brenda's overreach. Personal liability. Board-eyed her like poison. David motion no confidence. Landslide vote. Deposed. Fallout. Brenda fled humiliated. Board settled. Rebuilt fence on HOA tab. Covered fees. Expunged fines. Apologized. Reimbursement fund for all damages. Hit reserves. Special assessment irony. Fence up. Visits ceased. Scarface sniffed. Grunted. Retreated. Peace back. I joined board as wildlife liaison. Brenda, shunned, sold house, drove off dusty rover. Battle won. Reason over tyranny. Data over decorum. Ugly fence as beauty's guardian.